This is Real Life Conversations, episode 1. My name is Talib. Everyone else going to introduce themselves.
My name is Abdul.
I'm Pepper the Great from Great Amazing Entertainment.
Adam.
I'm Nancy.
My problem is this, I think growing up as a black male, stereotypically, you may find you get stopped by the police, you find women holding their handbags, you find people not wanting to, like, automatically thinking the worst. You walk in the shop, security follow you around, like, that was just standard growing up as a young black male. Then I took Shahada, so I'm Muslim now, so now I'm a black Muslim. So I got stereotype of being a black male and then the stereotype of being a Muslim. I'm a family man. That's what's important to me. I want to look after my kids. I want to grow them up right. But then, with stereotypes comes a stigma, and you could affect people's, I don't know, their growth, their way of thinking, the way they are, because they start to accept the stereotype. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So rather than, like, it's not something that you should take on. Rather than fight against it and say, "Wow, don't deal with me like that." After a while, it happens so much that people start to get used to it and accept the stereotype. Now, if women are going to hold their handbag every time I walk past them, I just grab it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Not to say that that's the good thing to do, but right, if you're going to label someone like that, then they're gonna act. And it affects them.
But I tell you what I do. You see, when I'm on a train and I hold my bag before they even. So what I do is I reverse the stereotypical type on them. So when I'm coming off the train, before they can even clutch their thing, I'm clutching mine. Like, you know what? I don't trust you neither. You understand? So
It's true. I hear you.
reverse psychology.
I tried that with myself.
Yeah.
I've been in the lift and gone boo. You know, like in the lift, it's gone boo.
Or when I'm on my phone like this
You know what I mean?
and someone's walking towards me, I just move my phone like I don't, and the person don't have a hoodie, the person looks like a 9 to 5, just come from the office. I do it on purpose to let them know that, you know, fabrics and clothes doesn't mean who we are. You could be a white collar criminal. Yeah? Right.
I feel sorry for young children, or I say college students, for example. So they're walking up and down. They're living a good life. They're studying. They're trying to do their thing. They're staying away from crime. And these are young. In my situation, I can respond to. I'd say young black kids, but that's just from my point of view. Obviously, these are in all different circles of life, but this is what I can relate to. So I'm just gonna say what I relate to. But I've seen these young kids with their rucksacks on, minding their business, going to college, studying, trying to do right, and then they're getting pulled over by the police. And then the police are treating them like criminals, and they're good kids. And they don't even know how to deal with or conversate with the police. So and they don't know their rights, and then they start to feel hard done by. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You know what I mean?
So have you ever seen a situation like where, well, I've seen it a lot, obviously, where some people, they adapt the stereotypic and that ideology, they adapt it because they know that that's the fear. So even though it's not them, they use it as a weapon.
What about if you feel like you're stereotyping both ways? So do you feel like some people stereotype the police?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, no doubt we stereotype the police, but let's be real. The police can affect your life more than what we can affect them. And here's another stereotype for you. Black policemen get on my nerves, even more than white police, and that's me stereotyping them. But I'll be honest, the reason is because every time I deal with them, it seems like they got something to prove. Like you get searched, and they're like, "Oh, okay, all right, thank you, sir." No, but he's probably got a draw.
I've seen that.
I just been searched by the other police officer. I don't smoke, officer. One time I got stopped.
It's like a get your own kind as well. Like, wow, what's wrong with you?
Do you feel like that's them trying to fight their stereotype within their job?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because it is. See, you're right. It does bounce a couple of ways, because obviously they feel that they've got something to prove. Otherwise, they're gonna seem like.
Or they're biased.
They're biased. Or maybe they're just trying to fit in, because police are. You see, like, you got races, you got religions, you got things. Police are their own race. You better realise that it's not a colour. Like, they are their own. They're on their own things. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. They got their own little thing going on.
Gang, innit?
Their own gang. They got their own thing.
Their own gang.
they're really like against everyone else.
What about how people, in terms of just cultures, stereotype each other amongst each other?
We do it all the
in
time.
city that we live in?
We do it by age, we do it by size, colour, nationality. Definitely
It's just how
nationality
human
is a
beings are
big
created, though, innit?
stereotype, I think.
think it-
Nationality.
It's like put on the front, like you want to create an that there's identities and you associate with identities. So you're like fronting in the sense that this is what I identify with, so I'm going to put the stereotype on even more.
Yeah.
Even more, just to make sure that everyone knows.
And she
Very true.
enhancement.
Do you feel like it's affecting the crime rate and things like that as well? The stereotypes?
Well,
Yeah,
fashion. Some people get a buzz off.
Yeah, it's
hearing
fashion. Fashion is a
That. They get a
stereotype.
buzz off hearing that.
Because when you
What do
see
you mean?
people
What do you
in
mean?
clothes and
Yeah.
you think you know who,
The way you dress
Yeah.
and that you're supposed to act a certain
Yeah.
way because you dress a certain way.
not act, people think that,
Deceive you.
yeah,
Yeah.
deceive
Deceive you.
Yeah, to be a certain
and
way.
you know, people try to judge you through your what do you call it?
Your parents.
Your appearance, but as I said, like I'm talking
away
as
from-
in
away
clothes,
from
like
that,
your
like-
image.
In terms of the stereotypes being the effect, so like what's expected of you.
Oh,
So
to
you know, like,
probably, if you're a Muslim, to be, what's it called, shouting out certain things and then
yeah. Or
Yeah.
how people perceive you, like I say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also, what's it called? Let's say you're a couple, what's it called? Black youths walking home from somewhere. They don't know where you're coming from and that. Yeah, they expect you to be doing some crazy things in it on the road, maybe going out there and robbing people, and maybe that's why they're holding their bags and that, because they already expect you to be thinking, right, you're gonna do something. Like man's walking across. Like I remember when I was walking with my dog and that. Yeah, when I had a dog. They'll come and they'll stroke my dog, but then when I'm walking alone, they're crossing the road. Yeah, you understand? Like they don't want to be around.
Yeah,
man.
that I
But-
find they want to be friends with the dog.
Yeah,
We come after the deaf, the blind, the disabled dogs. We come after everything. That's another I find.
I remember getting stopped. I was driving a van because I was working, and I got stopped by two policemen, and they pulled me over, and I said, "So why are you stopping me for, officer?" And I jumped out, and I got a kufi on, I got a thobe on, yeah. And he said, "Well, you could be drink driving." I said, "Officer,"
Could be.
I said, "Officer,
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
I'm a practicing Muslim in a thobe." I just jumped out the van, like, "What do you mean? What's the problem?" "Oh, you're right there. You're a big one, aren't you?" Yeah. So then they start to get their back up a little bit. They check the plates. They let me go, and yeah, it was alright. But
But that's
You
against
can't- what's the
size.
point?
what was
They're
it over?
judging you on
yeah,
your
yeah,
size.
Yeah, they saw, right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
and that's again.
Exactly.
A lot of things you get stereotyped for, but I think I get stereotyped for my nationality. I think a lot of people think I'm Jamaican, but I'm British, I'm born here, and I get treated in so much different ways considering I'm African. And it's like I watch all, like when I'm around Jamaicans who know I'm an African, they treat me different. Then when I go around Africans that think I'm Jamaican, they treat me different. Then when I'm in a British club, they think I'm a Jamaican, and I pick up on all of, and it is stereotyping
So
me.
you know that you're gonna always be stereotyped.
Yeah.
So if you know that you're gonna be stereotyped, do you think that your stereotype can work for you? Can you? Because like you gotta bring. There's always a positive with
I
a
don't.
negative.
My
So,
positive.
do you think like some of these artists out here, like rappers and stuff like that, they are promoting certain things what you might not necessarily like, or some people, but a lot of people do, otherwise they wouldn't be famous.
You're right.
So,
You're right. Because people
Their
assume.
negativity in your eyes or somebody else's eyes has worked for them and made them a success. So, do you think your stereotype? Do you think it can work for you in some ways?
It can, because I think people fake it.
Yeah.
So I think people will dress up a certain way and act a certain way.
That's
and go on like they're like this.
Yeah, I
and
think
they're
so.
not.
Yeah.
That's not who you are. Just be you.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
That's what same thing I said. They use it to their
It's marketing
advantage.
though, innit? It's marketing. People,
Yeah, because
people know that
It
is
sells.
selling.
It sells. It.
Yeah, so they're gonna use it.
It draws attention. It draws
Look,
traffic
remember,
to
you're
you,
a business, innit? Yeah, and then you, what's it called? Show people what you want them to see. Yeah. So if you want them to see you in a certain way where people are already judging, you're gonna be getting attention for it. Yeah, that's what you're gonna be doing.
But what about this side? What about the stereotyping that you lot do yourself against others? Yeah,
definitely.
So like, because you got to remember, stereotyping could be a good way to divide people.
Black people are the worst.
Yeah,
because I'll tell you what.
I work it. I just work it. I don't give a damn. I just work it.
We stereotype each other, and it's jokes.
Yeah,
like you're just saying, like it's funny. We're funny towards each other. You know what I mean? Like we are.
I like working with images because images is stereotypic. So I can wear a hoodie or jeans. I can wear this. I can wear that. I can switch and I can come out in a raincoat. I use it to my advantage, as in style and fashion.
How have you done it in a bad way? Like, how have you stereotyped? Because it's easy for us to talk about it on a victim, like
as a victim.
I've never
That's a lie. Because like, say for instance,
but you judge all the time. You judge every time.
Like, what do you mean?
We judge things.
When you got that mind,
if you see a Chinese man, you're gonna assume that he might know kung fu.
Definitely.
That's small stereotype.
And they lead up to bigger ones as well.
If he could do kung fu, I know he's scared of a black strong woman.
What's that?
It's stereotypic. So,
No, but that's what you're
so I use it to my advantage. That's just being me. I'm sorry, I'm a black strong woman.
But that's you stereotyping. What you said was a stereotype.
How? By saying by myself.
You
never heard from no Chinese man.
That's me using it to my advantage. So you ask how I using it.
You're using something you've never heard to your advantage. Has any Chinese man told you they're scared of a black woman?
Nah, but the actions speak louder than words.
No, that doesn't make any sense because you're stereotyping.
Well, I don't know.
There you go.
As black people, we stereotype each other all the time. I got Ghanaian friends here, and they say to me, "Oh, what's wrong with you, man, bruv? What's wrong with Winston? I know all your cousins. I know all your cousins. You got bare cousins you don't know, you know, bro." I say, "Shut up, man. That's how you mean stuff. Like we ramp with each other. It's jokes, but you know what I mean.
But do you know what it is? Is this we know who we want to stereotype?
Yeah, but
that's what it is.
I don't know. When
it boils down to that. You want a particular person.
Stereotype is not us. It's just a word. Do you understand?
Because when you stereotype each other in those communities, doesn't it cause a divide in it?
100%.
Even those jokes.
Do you know what? If you're friends with someone and you're close with them, it doesn't.
I know,
but separate from that,
even when you're cool, even though it's jokes, like
it goes out.
Of course.
Everything about stereotype is dividing everyone. It's making everyone not feel like they're not the same.
Can we not talk about the vision? Because I'm gonna say, I'm not saying I'm all that, but when you reach a certain time in your life, you learn to look over all the obstacles and remove from the tunnel vision. And so you learn to try and see past the materialistic things. Even though you're saying what you're saying, but sometimes this is where the vision and the third eye and all that comes into it. You're supposed to see past all of that. Because remember, stereotype is just a word that's used through image.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So we don't really need to be taking it that deep.
No, but some people.
No, but people.
You can be normal.
Right, so for example, you come over to this country.
Yeah.
You come over to this country. Yeah.
Well, I work. I don't know.
Hear me, Alright, a lot of Asians came over to this country and they were doctors. A lot of West Indians and Africans came over to this country and they were bus drivers and cleaners. And that's
I think that's a stereotype.
And worked in the NHS.
There's a lot of nurses there.
Right. Worked in it, but they didn't know how to deal with each other either because they're from different cultures as well. Do you know what I mean? So they were judging each other.
Of a doctor would feel that they're more better than a cleaner and so forth. But then when you get older, you realise that you can be that doctor. When I got older, so the stereotypic to me fades away. It may come in time.
You know, is it sometimes you can be normal to it, innit? Or it can be normal to you. But some people can grow out of certain things.
I think so. That's where I'm coming from, where you learn to overlook it.
Yeah.
Where when I was younger, it was a big part of my life. I thought I was being judged because of the way I speak and what my name is. Where's my surname? I used to always think I'm judged by my surname. That's how stereotype affected me, only nationality-wise, with your name, and then now sometimes it's with you.
So were you surprised how you were accepted when people thought that, things that you thought they might judge you for? Was you surprised when you were accepted by the things that you thought you might be judged by?
I was surprised how, like, it's nothing. Like if you're proud of yourself and if you know where you're coming from, eventually you learn to embrace. Before I was ashamed of my name, Patience. I used to tell people my name was Patricia.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? But
Patience, Patricia.
because everybody else's name was Jackie and Joe and this and that, I thought, nah. And then one time someone come to my house and says, Patricia there. My dad said, who? He said, one piece beating I got that day, yeah? You telling people your name is like that for? You know, do you know what I mean? And then I start to embrace it more. So
I feel like, yeah, when you, what's it called? If you value yourself, yeah, it allows, like, and you understand, you love yourself, what's it called? It makes people know that they can't devalue you.
That's where the strength comes from.
That's right.
But it also that helps you to understand the stereotypes in a different way, innit?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. That's when you can bust jokes with your friends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because you know yourself.
Yeah.
And they know you. And you know each other. But what I think Dee was saying earlier is that there's times where it's called separation. And I say times because now we're in a different time.
Yeah.
So like if you look at the 80s and the 70s and how things were before, a lot of cultures were completely separate and they didn't want to go near each other. Right, what's he eating?
Yeah, that smells, Reggie.
No, right, you can get jerk chicken and jollof rice in the same like that's standard. You can buy that somewhere.
And halal biscuits. Halal biscuits.
You wouldn't have that before. People's minds weren't on that before. Yeah. The cultures weren't intermixing properly and respecting each other. Now it's a lot. I reckon it's a lot better.
They embraced it, but so I've got a question to ask just quickly, and I swear it's a genuine question. I really want to know, and I actually don't know the answer yet. So, how do you feel about, because you know a lot of black pop icons that have a certain image, famous artists or celebrities or actors, the way they dress, and then you have a lot of white people dressing, speaking, and acting the same. How do you feel about that?
What's wrong with it?
I see a lot.
If you've grown up, around.
If you grew up where I grew up,
you're gonna be.
Then you're gonna be like how I was. That's how I see it.
White or black?
White or black. If you grew up in the same neighborhood as me, and you were at the same poverty line as me, and we were on the I don't see as no different. The thing is, I actually think black people are very welcoming.
Yeah, 100%.
You understand what I'm trying to say? I think they're welcoming. I think they're very. I think that they are who you are, who you are, and they just bring you in and it's cool.
I feel like that's what happened back in the days as well. They were so welcoming, and then it just they done.
All right, can I speak a point? Can I speak a point to what you said?
I can't get enough.
Not what I was thinking. What he was saying. What did you think he was saying when he was saying? When you said what you were saying, first of all, what you said. What did you mean?
The legend. What do you mean?
I mean, like there is a bit of a debate though, because there is a bit of like cultural appropriation.
I say so. Listen to what he's saying.
There's something that belongs to respect. Something that belongs to you, and then how dare you take that from me?
Yeah.
But I tell you what. That's not a new thing. It's not a new thing though. So what you're saying, it's not a new thing. It's
Alright, can I say something on that topic? Don't laugh quick.
You look at rock and roll, you look at music, you look at rock. It's been happening, isn't it? Like, so it's not new to us. You know what I mean? It's not new. I tell you what I was gonna say though, yeah, which is deep as well, yeah. I think, you see, where are you from? Where are your parents from?
So I was born in Poland, and my parents were born in Poland, and their parents were born in Poland.
Alright, so I've got this.
So you're Polish?
Fully. Like,
I've got this theory.
For all I know, anyway.
I've got this theory, and correct me if I'm wrong. I got this theory, yeah. But this is how I look at it, yeah. I work in security sometimes, yeah. So I've met a lot of Polish guys here that work security. I mean, they end up being really good friends. But you see, when they first came to this country, yeah, their outlook of who they saw black people to be, yeah, how they saw us, yeah, they were really racist, and they were racist towards us because of how they learnt it in their country, what they know about black people, and there's a lot of far right.
And let's begin with, at that point, there probably weren't any black people in the villages, towns, or where they come from, so. They definitely had no reference.
And then there's a lot of far right groups out there, and and those kind of things going on. But when they come over here, yeah, and they realise that they're at the bottom of the pile in this country, and the way they're treated by English people, they realise that the only people that's similar to them and that's like them are the people that grew up where we grew up and how we grew up. So they end up becoming friends. So that means that means that the
It's a class.
Right, it's a class thing. It's a class thing. And it also means that you see how I said in the 70s and the 80s we as a people were against each other and we were funny towards each other. We didn't like each other's food. We didn't like each other. Yeah. As time went on, we start to appreciate each other and get to know each other. I got a cousin, a little cousin. He's half Kosovan. Wow. Like, how did that come about? Like, do you understand what I'm saying? But he is, and it's because we start to appreciate people and see that we're the same class. We're, you know what I mean? Yeah. We're under the same pressures. We're all broke. We're all trying to get up. Do you know what I mean?
So, do you ever get the feeling where I know this is a stereotype that I see a lot on the road, and I feel it as well sometimes myself, like when you're driving a nice car and like when you look nice, it's like you get penalised for that. Yeah. Like you're coming out
by who?
Yeah. By
come on now, you're not
by people looking at you.
It's important because it's important.
By people looking at you thinking you're a drug dealer or you're this or you're that. You're not. You didn't get your things by legit circumstances.
I tell you what, just be real. Yeah. You get hate by your own people as well. Sure, people are haters.
This is what, but is it funny enough? Yeah,
that's not scary, right? People don't like to see.
People don't like to see anyone.
Do you know what I mean?
I live in Streetville.
Why care? Like that goes on anyway.
That's it.
That's me.
So
and that's universal as well. Because I live in Streetville, yeah. There's a big Polish community. There's a lot of like Polish immigrants there, yeah. And bro, listen,
but you guys,
I don't want to dress up, man. I hate dressing up because all the Polish guys screw me. Like they're all like, because I've been here for 22 years, so I've had enough time to work to buy a Nike T-shirt or a pair of jeans or something like. But then the guys that see me wearing new clothes, they'll be looking at me like they hate me. My like Polish people will see. They'll be like, he's a successful Polish person. But I'm not even successful, but to them, this is like more successful than they are.
Alright, so you see what he said before, when he first spoke, and I said to you, listen to what he's saying. You've gone back to it again, and I think this is what you're working with. Like, you see, sometimes with us, we spend a lot of money on things, and we want to look the part, and we have the show for it, where you have some people that just dress in a t-shirt, dress in a jeans. Yeah, they've got the car right there.
Does that mean that you've clocked it how to live life?
No, but this is why I think this is when you was talking before. I don't know if I'm jumping the gun.
Yeah, that's a stereotype.
That's a stereotype. Because
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
that's what I mean in terms of like when people go like, oh, they might even put that picture on Instagram and they'll show someone wearing like
yeah, I've seen it before.
And then they're like,
I thought that's where you was coming from.
This guy is a millionaire and this guy's
but you don't know what they have in their pocket.
But you know what's mad?
The rich people don't look rich. That's what you don't.
I think that's where he was coming from.
But we know in what country. Because you know, like in certain countries, rich people look rich.
And that's like a little pinky ring.
Saudi Arabia,
and just a little chain.
Africa, Jamaica, wherever. There's different cultures show richness in different ways.
But we come from diamonds and oil. So what I notice is when I walk, I see people with real diamonds, and then I say, "But we got costume jewelry on." I've noticed it a lot. But I think where a lot of things was taken from us, we still got that rich look because we are kings and queens. So when people look at us like...
You feel like people dress up, to impress. No, not just to impress. To make themselves feel better.
But we're kings and queens.
You got no peace. You got minimum peace, but you know what, I don't know. You feel like if you dress the part.
I'm answering your question. Like I know that's where you was coming from. Where that's what I think the same way. You know, sometimes like I look. Remember, we are emperors. As much as people don't want to admit, there's a balance. We are kings and queens. We are empresses. So when, even though you took all our diamonds and oil, we still flourishing in the way that we should. So
Forget that.
because you don't want armor.
Listen, forget the diamond. Listen. Forget the diamond. The mind that was trying to be taken away from you.
I know, but I can feel where you was coming from when you first spoke. That's why I said to him, "Are you listening?" But he went back to it again. So I said, "Let me open it up." Yeah.
With chains.
But that's my explanation for what we do. Because it's like, even though it doesn't matter if we got fake fur, if we got fake plastic, we're still living that kings and queens thing.
Let's link up with the conversation.
So that comes to around where we were talking about real versus fake.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously in society now, fake is becoming the new real. Having to portray a facade to other people to fit into a certain class or do you know what I mean? So that's definitely an issue today.
But where you're coming from, sometimes it's down, as we say again, style and fashion. Even if someone wants to spend 1,500 on something, and then you can get something similar, not fake, but just similar, that's less. You're still rocking the same image. It's just that person spent that for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you understand? So it's not like you're trying to fit in.
What
you're
is
just
coming-
doing your
No,
thing.
but not
That's
even
what I'm
only
saying.
that though. Not even only that though. There's people on Instagram and things.
That's what I was gonna say. There was a point.
Yeah.
When I see you.
Yeah, there's
So there's
people
a balance in it.
Yeah,
You got-
exactly.
It could be a way where, like I said, you can
And
just
how
be
it
dressing
fits
to make
in
yourself
it.
feel better.
How long it lasts.
Because you haven't got a lot, so you might
Be
just
careful your things.
But then there's dressing to put on that facade you're talking about.
Yeah,
Like I said on the
exactly.
Instagram, you're pushing it. You're like you said, you got the Louis
Yeah.
V's, you got your foot up
Yeah,
on the car that you
exactly.
don't
Yeah.
own. That you don't
You know,
own.
from I've been younger, I've always been a queen.
Steal those things as well. Like, and you don't live that life where you're paying
And
for
then when
it.
someone
you know
comes
what I
and
mean?
bumps you for that chain,
If
with
you
no
don't
ice,
have a problem with that. 1 second, guys.
1 second.
If you don't have a problem with that, what's the problem? What's the problem with
I don't
that?
have no problem with it.
At the end of the
Advocate
day,
here, I don't have a problem with it because I know that I'm fine.
No, but
So
wait. So listen,
yeah,
if somebody
it's
look,
not
if you're
so
wearing
much a
Louboutins,
problem.
real
It's like, why do you feel
Louboutins,
like
yeah.
you need to do that?
Look, if you're wearing real Louboutins and somebody comes there, yeah, and then they get more attention and they got a fake one, but
their
more flashy,
business.
would you be upset?
Yeah.
no way.
Well, you wouldn't.
How can I be upset for a man-made
Then there's no
product?
point of talking.
Yeah, there you go, that's the whole point.
No, but she said
I want her to.
she was talking about fake and real.
Can we let her emphasize?
What did you say to her, Q?
Fake is
About the fake and the real and the
fake is
whatever.
the new real.
Yeah, but then you said people
Yeah,
are
fake's the new
fitting
real,
in
basically.
because they're trying to
Hold on.
do like what the real people
Real
have.
is down
But
to
it
the
comes down to
perception,
style
though, right?
and fashion.
Like, what's real to you ain't real to me.
Nah, shit.
What would you call real? Because
but what's real is that you can't really afford that stuff. And
Exactly,
you're
so
you,
this
and you
fake
ain't got
it
no
till
money
you
for
make it, or
nothing.
you
But what's
set
it? No,
yourself
yeah, but
up.
we start dressed like that before them man they start make them in there.
You ain't got no money for nappies. You ain't got no money for your rent. And you ain't got no gas money.
Do you understand?
But you're buying expensive things, yeah. And even if it is fake, you're still buying it to look away, and you still ain't got the money to do what
But
you
if
got
that's
to do.
not you, then why does anyone care?
Because people are suffering
Oh,
because of
but
it.
if you think better,
Kids are suffering because of
how
it.
do you know you got kids?
I said kids are suffering because of it.
I'm
saying-
And it's not good for your mind state.
No, but I'm saying this again, it's a stereotyping.
But
Because
that's why if you don't care and you just do your thing and you just don't, it doesn't affect you because
Yeah, it's
I don't wear brands. I don't wear brands. I don't even wear names. All my things are plain, really. I don't wear brands. I don't wear nothing. Big plain thing I wear, brethren. Nothing ain't got no name for
Do you
me.
think that they do it for attention, these people that you're talking about, and do you think if the attention's a good thing or a bad thing? This is what
That's
I'm-
on them.
It depends on the individual.
It depends how much. Yeah.
If you're
No, but
into
I'm
that
saying,
and you
why
feel
are they
like
going on the internet doing this stuff?
because they want
Because
to.
obviously
Their
the role
business.
models are these
Man don't
rappers
understand
and
that.
like
Yeah,
people
yeah,
in entertainment that's making money that's
Right.
obviously
So then
But they even
gain
faked it to
attention,
make
right?
it.
Or what?
A lot of them.
But I'm
I
saying,
say jolly to them.
Do you
If
feel
you can
like
fake
people
it
need
to
to
make
feel-
it,
no, I hear that, but I'm saying
good on you.
We always talk about people getting fake stuff, but say someone's got a fake Gucci.
I don't deal with fake.
The only person that's
Only fake to make it.
Hear what I'm saying.
They're gonna know.
If someone's wearing fake Gucci, the only person they're affecting is the Gucci company.
Yeah.
So
I think they're
Where's the
affecting
problem?
themselves
How about you not checking
by wearing
But it
fake
depends on
clothes.
how you carry yourself. If you're humble with it, then no one can chat with you.
why
Like,
is it humble? Why can't man be like, yo?
Now you know what
You don't understand it's not real
Oh
life.
my days!
It's not real. It's real.
What about?
Real
So
is real.
only when your clothes is bought from and you paid VAT from their store, and you paid an import fee from their store, and everything else fee from their store.
But the Chinese man's got the real replica.
Exactly the real thing.
And you're telling me your thing's
But
real.
you have to obey. You have to obey the rules. You have to obey the rules because someone's gonna say to you,
You got fake on.
"You got fake on." Like what? But what if your characters? What if someone's famous? What if if you see P Diddy wearing something fake? Can
You wouldn't
say
even know, really.
Yes.
Alright, well, my daughter seems to can.
He's stunting like it's real.
Try to
He's like,
G.
bro, if he's like, yeah, when
She said, Mom, when she was little. This is her.
Do you understand? G, you know, acting like
Mum, look at the Jesus. Shut up. I was in Jamaica, you know. She's ailing out the mass. And she was young. She said, Mum.
When they wear these red bottoms and they're showing it off on Instagram and saying all this stuff, what you're saying, is it good attention or is it bad attention? How did, like it says, why is it affecting people?
I don't think it's good for your mentality.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good for your self well-being, because you're telling yourself one thing and that's not what's going on. Also, you're putting out there. You see what you put out is what you get back.
So what if it is going on and you are?
What do you mean? What's going on?
Like, you are can afford to buy these.
Then you can.
I
Do you understand? But at the same time,
a good thing.
No, but I still
yeah, why not? And obviously
Conversation.
show these younger people that's looking up to you that, bro, if you work hard, you can get these things. Do you understand? When you're all in the fake and you're looking down on
That's
these
where
people,
we're going
and
with the thing. What we
all these
talked
other
about
people that's
with
looking
the
up to you need to run to go and get these things.
Role modeling.
Killing people, doing whatever they need to do to get these things, then obviously it's gonna become a negative thing, innit?
Yeah.
I just think
It's not the right thing.
it's just clothes.
I think.
And then you start to obviously worship like materialistic things other than higher things, spiritual things that's going on around us that you can't even see. Do you understand? There's loads
But
of
that's
things
why I
deeper
say when
shit
people
that
are
we can't
highlighting
even
whether
see.
something's real or fake, that makes you more. That's more of a fight towards
I
spirituality.
don't know about
than
the
anything.
highlight. I don't know about the highlighting whether it's real or fake. Yeah. But what I'm saying is if the person is pushing themselves on the internet, faking a lifestyle that they're not living.
Exactly, it's
But
not
it's
even
not-
has to be with
it's not
clothes,
it's not
even
even-
personality,
Exactly.
even,
Right.
you know what I mean, the
Look,
whole
one sec.
persona, it doesn't have to
Okay,
be
look,
with
but surgery, yeah?
Yeah.
When women get surgery,
It's fake.
when women wear makeup,
Yeah.
these are all things that
Yeah.
is considered as fake.
Yeah.
Yeah? So, but it's in
But
terms
because
of...
they bought it, they say it's...
No, I'm saying, I'm not saying it's fake or not.
I like it.
No,
I think it's nice that.
No, I think that women should wear makeup. I don't think it's
I think
it's a place
with
for a
me.
man to judge. You know what I mean?
No,
Like, oh,
but
women
I'm
wear
saying-
makeup.
I'm saying-
I'm just saying it has a place where people could consider it fake, yes or no?
Yeah.
In the same right where you could consider someone's clothing fake.
Yeah. So, but when the
Yeah,
makeup
but what
becomes...
is fake?
When the makeup becomes you, then it's something different, innit? So if you can wear it, before they used to use it just to enhance a little bit of beauty, innit?
Exactly.
But from when you are wearing it every day, then that means that's become you.
Yes.
Yeah, now this is the image you're portraying. Like, Bow Wow, man
That's
took a
fake.
picture of him, you understand? And then somebody said, "Rah, this guy is on the thing with me."
plane with me.
Yeah, and then...
If you can't go up the
Imagine
road without your eyelashes and eyebrows or whatever, and you can't go to Brixton with a little hat on your head, you have to make up
No,
yourself.
you
That's
can't.
fake.
Not
To
necessarily.
me, I believe
No.
if someone has to put on, I'm going to say from a
It
woman's
doesn't
point of
really
view.
have to be fake.
If
Maybe
a
that
woman-
person's not
It's fake
comfortable
to
with
you.
the
I'm
person
just
that they
talking-
are.
No,
It's just a bit insecure.
no, insecure is fake. That means you're putting on a different facade.
Everyone's insecure in different ways.
It's not real.
I'm not talking
No,
about
we're
clothes.
all insecure, but we face it. We go down a dark tunnel when we're scared, but we fake it. We face it. So I'm saying, no, shush, no, we face it. No, you know why I said fake it? Because if you're scared and you got to pretend that you're not scared, that's faking it. So I think that's why that slipped out like that. You understand? But my point is
So is there a time and a place to be fake then? Is this what people say?
that's up to the individual.
Exactly.
Because when we're going back to your question, because you said you was going to go round, and I'm going to say that if somebody's making money and they're making money legitly, whatever the word is, yeah, and they're going to buy their nice phone, they're going to have up their nice shoes, and they're going to take a picture and a book. I like it. I like to see it. I like to press like. I like to look at it. I like all of it. But I'm not wondering does he really own that, or is it really his? I'm just looking at the image and I like it, 'cause I like to look at things like being a photographer and all them kind of things. You like to see nice things. But going back to the fake, if one time I watched Can't Pay Will Take It Away, and the person they were pursuing was an Instagram, what do you call it? Personality. Instagram personality. So when they came to evict her, her curtains were dirty, the carpet was mashed up, it wasn't her flat, she weren't paying the rent. And when the people them showed her Instagram thing, I was like, can she get a whoa? Because her life was completely different from your dirty curtains. I called that fake. That's what I call fake. But if you got the thing going on, and you're photogenic, even me, I can work it on the Instagram, but it's me what I'm working.
So is faking it to make it okay? Because she might...
No,
Exactly.
not in that
Or
situation.
does it set you up to fail?
We can fake it to make it right now, because we're all good to go.
Okay.
Okay, but it's a
Some
difference.
people can consider that their job. You know, like on
Instagram,
On their way
That's
to
fake,
success.
and that's where I'm saying it's not, to me, that is a
If you've got something
negative.
to sell, what Marsh just said, yeah? If you've got something to sell, advertisement is faking it, right? In terms of what advertising is. So
But she didn't have
about what
nothing.
you wanna put
She
out.
just had the makeup, the eyelashes, she was a nice colour, and whatever, that was it.
if you know with Instagram, Instagram is the people that got the most views is for their body. Women.
Ish,
Women
the
in their
face,
body.
looks, yeah.
There'll be a
Their
celebrity
body,
that ain't got as much as like Bernice Burgos or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
or personality.
Or personality, yeah. An actual guy that's on TV and that. He might even be a good looking guy, but he's never gonna have as much as a woman that's putting their booty out.
Because guys are horny out here, they just watch.
Exactly.
Yeah, what's the-
And women support those women a lot as well, innit? They're like, you look so hot and everything.
And they like
they're like,
No, but they do look hot. You can say, I wish I looked like you. What? That's a different thing. But they look good. The girls them look good. But some,
But if you know, if you know, you got
not naked.
But you see what
But
you
some
said?
girls look
No, but
hot
you
in
see
their
what you said
clothes.
before?
Yeah,
See what you
yeah,
said
yeah,
before?
yeah, that.
Don't you see that as a slightly a bit of a mental disorder? Understand what I'm trying to say? You said you got to the person's house.
Not
and the
me.
curtains- no, but
The
on
can't
the
pay,
TV,
won't
yeah?
pay
Like,
people.
oh, the curtains was dirty. This was going on. Like, raw. We're adults. Say make believe time no more. You're not a child pretending to be something. Like, raw. You need to find something for yourself to do. I'm not saying don't legitimately do something for yourself and make it somewhere and sort your life out. I'm just saying, raw, that's a mental disorder.
No, but she
Now-
would have been good to go if she'd
How?
have paid her rent and the people them didn't come and film her and we knew what she was doing.
Booty.
No one would have been no answer. You know what I mean? If she'd have just paid her rent, dealt with the landlord properly, she wouldn't have got exposed. But she did. So
But is she getting paid by Instagram because of
what are the bad
something was going on for her.
In
Could
terms
have
of faking it, yeah? What could be the bad sides of you faking it and what could be the good sides?
Same thing.
That thing, like,
Yeah.
right, they find
not
out.
being
this-
Yeah.
able to
Can we let her talk a bit more? I wanna
Yeah,
hear her
sorry,
voice a
sorry,
bit more.
sorry.
You mean?
Yes,
Yeah? Okay. Yeah, obviously keeping up with that facade, innit, that you're portraying to other people, that can be a challenge, innit, because even, let's say, buying the latest trainers or the latest this or whatever, whether you're teeth in it or you're this, it's bare risk that you're taking, innit, you're going to be locked up for a while if you keep doing it, and then when you come out, you have to keep doing it, but at the same time, if you do it, what are the consequences, innit, do you know what I mean?
But
So
is it wrong for us to assume that people are doing illegal stuff for it?
no, it's not assume. It's obviously there's facts in it. There's proven facts that there's. I'm not gonna name no people right now, yeah, but obviously there's obviously in the hood. There's people out here obviously teething and that to go up and dance to look good to
But
stand
no,
up
you're
on
right, but I'm
people,
saying, I know people
and
that
you're
work,
not living
people
that
that work
life.
got more money than the people that are teething.
I'm
and
telling
doing
you,
stuff
their
most times.
credit's good, brethren.
Yeah, no, right
They
here.
can get anything they
Also,
want and
obviously,
live the
you're
big
smart.
life.
There is
You're
a side
smart,
of it
yeah,
that
definitely.
Yeah.
I've been saying for a long time.
Yeah. No, literally,
I
like,
find
I'm not gonna
hustlers have
lie,
it
I know
harder than
someone
the
that
9
will
to
steal
5.
their whole week shopping, bro, and you got money in your bank. And I'm like, raw, if you've got the balls to do that and that's your thing, then do you know what I mean? Like, that's your thing, I have to respect it, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Do you think faking it to
But-
make it can be dangerous?
Yeah.
Not really. I think it's each.
How?
Yeah, it is
It all
literally.
boils back
What I'm
down
trying
to
to say,
everyone
like-
watching everyone again.
Exactly.
So see the women that you
But
said
other
earlier
people
about
and how they want to live,
yes.
what they were.
Exactly,
Shouldn't
and what the
matter
next
anyone.
man's
Listen to
doing
what Dee
other than
say.
what
Oh,
they
sorry.
do.
what
See the women about you saying about
She's
the
hot.
breasts.
Oh, sorry, baby. I didn't know you saw it.
One sec.
You see the women that you talk about the breasts on the Instagram and all this stuff. They're pretty girls showing off their bodies. And do you think that could be dangerous?
Definitely.
Because if they're not really models. And stuff.
If they're not really, if they're not women,
Well, don't get it twisted. It should be
that's
dangerous. That
dangerous
creates
because it's gonna make
opportunity,
every
innit?
other
It's
female
about
feel like
it
they need to
can do. It can create a lot of opportunity.
But with everything, there's a risk in it.
Exactly.
Like everything in life you do, there's always
I
going
don't
to
want
be
my
a risk.
daughter
Exactly.
looking at that and then thinking.
So it's about
speaking
taking
from a
the
male's
risk, and
point
that's
of
what
view,
will
how do you
determine
feel
for you to be
when you?
successful or not,
Sorry,
innit? Do you know what I mean?
when you see a girl on Instagram,
You know what I mean?
she looks the
Like,
business.
Wow.
She looks like. How do you feel when?
Let's not.
What would
But
you do?
anyway, Go on.
I feel like I need to get my chips up.
Come on, Pepe.
No, what I'm saying to Dean is, I've always wanted to know from a male point of view. All of that thing, what's on the internet with the girls shaking their booty and they're getting it on down and they look good. But as a male point of view, how does it affect you and how do you deal with it?
I need to do some more
And-
press-ups.
How does it affect you?
I know
I feel like there's
no, we're being serious though.
get some more
No.
money.
How does it affect you?
I know how it affects
No, but I'm telling you, but I mean, seriously.
Traumatize us. If it don't affect you in a certain way, then it's something wrong.
All right, cut.
Hey, Pepe.
Let's start again.
I can't believe you butted in for that.
That's exactly
No,
what
no.
I just said.
Oh, shut. All right, take it back. Take it back. But I'm concerned. No, but he took it back there.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but he took it back there.
It was dangerous.
You see, he took it back there. So I thought, should we took it back there? Let me see what he thinks about it.
You're debating rather than
Sorry,
conversating.
sorry.
We're asking if it's dangerous.
What we do need though, what we do need is one person at a time. No butting in, no cutting.
I want to say
It's all
something.
professional.
So
Yeah.
what I was saying is, I think it's dangerous because.
For you, Abdul.
No,
Only you.
listen. No, but wait, no, listen.
You outside Morley's. Traumatized. 3 in the morning.
And sorry, Abdul, don't just speak for women as well. Speak
Nah.
for boys. It goes because it's not only women that are faking it on Instagram.
No. But what I'm saying is, yeah.
See,
what I'm
you
saying is,
keep going
alright,
back to
so-
it, but I
alright,
can't get nothing out of it.
I just want to know.
I want to
How?
Listen.
How would it be
Oh
dangerous?
my
It's
God.
dangerous for you.
See,
I don't
that's
know.
what you're
It's
saying.
It's dangerous.
If the ops want to get you and stuff like
Yeah,
that, it can be
That's
dangerous.
why I want to ask.
That's
How?
what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
That's what a lot's going on.
Stereotyping
Well,
of
in terms of
how a
what?
woman.
Now.
Let's talk about the stereotyping of how that woman that's showing her ass.
Yeah.
I want to know how he would
How do you
stereotype
think-
the
What
woman.
do you think she's ready for? What do you? How do you think
Nah.
you approach them?
We
Like,
know what
these are
we
the
all
things
know what
that-
women think.
Oh.
I want to hear what Dean thinks when you look if you see that on the
I
Instagram.
appreciate it.
See,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, but what would
There you
you
go.
think this girl's down for? Would you
Yeah.
think, yeah, this is
I haven't
this
really
is
thought-
this
I
is a
don't-
It's not
wife?
wife.
But
Definitely
maybe
not
I would
wife.
beat her real quick.
I just think she's a dumb woman.
But surely all girls are different, even if they look similar on Instagram, like it's a
I
trend.
can't.
They're all gonna be
Is
different. One of them might set you up, the other one might give you the best time of your life.
You shooting
But who knows, huh? Lucky dip.
It's a lucky dip.
What, so not them showing. Them
She's
showing
talking,
us,
she's
not
talking.
using the stereotype of men. No, but I'm saying they're using the stereotype of men, right?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah.
Women play on men's fantasy and they make money from it.
Right.
They never. Who told them
And
that's
men
every
enjoy
man?
it.
That's not every man's
Men
fantasy.
don't mind it.
Women
Women don't mind it.
do
Women don't mind it.
play
No,
it.
I'm saying it's not every man's fantasy. So I'm saying they're using the stereotype of what
Yeah,
you think men would be thinking.
Yeah,
Might not be
right.
every
To
man,
sell?
but it can become.
But then that's when you have to look into who's your demographic,
Yeah.
Exactly.
who's your target audience, who you market.
What sells?
You go fully.
And some of them are just lost in it. They just want attention.
You're professional with it.
So we're looking at the marketing. Would you?
Marketing your.
But everyone knows, yeah, sex
I like
sells
these,
and
you
fake
know,
it to make it is wisdom, innit?
If you
No, it's true.
Huh?
True.
It's true. Sex sells,
went-
yeah, and fake it to make it is a good
Ask me
strategy.
then.
And
So
why would
they're
you say that?
facts.
Why would you say
But
that?
they're facts, because that's what.
No,
like,
why are they facts to
Yeah,
you?
why are they facts to you?
Are they
You're the one
but they're
saying
proven. I think
Yeah,
they're
they are.
proven.
To
To some
some
degree.
leaders, they are proven.
Who faked it till they made it?
Depends.
Who?
It depends.
Give me one example.
Christopher
Donald
Columbus.
Trump.
Wow. That's a Donald Trump. Oh, good.
Manson had discovered America.
How can you discover somewhere?
Give a round of applause.
That don't make
It's
sense.
discovered.
One example of nowadays. Who faked it to their maiden?
I did. No, but I think
How did you do that?
like, bro, it's like it's mad things that you can literally just like if you pretend to be the character, and then you go in with that attitude, you'll get
So when did you do that? On the
that
road?
job.
Or on the job?
Oh.
Anything, man. I think. Alright, here's a funny example. Yeah, check it out. There's a boy living in an estate, and he's a good kid, and he comes from a good family, and everyone in that estate knows that. But he not only does he put his hood up here, he puts another hood up on top of that, yeah, and he walks around like this here with his headphones in, like he's the baddest man, yeah. But he's not though. He's never even like he's smoked a spliff once. I'm just saying a stereotype, yeah.
No, he said, yeah, it fixed
But
it.
check it, yeah. But he's faking it, yeah. But the woman still crosses the road when he's approaching.
Yeah, because he's
When
made
he's
it.
fitting the stereotype.
Yeah.
Why do we
Because he
think
faked
they're
it till he
making
made it.
They
So
don't
he
make
made it though.
Yeah, but where did he
He
make
made
it?
it across the road.
What did
He
he
made it
fake?
across the
Why
road.
do
But
we
where did he
think-
make
What did he
it to?
fake? What? Because he was wearing a hoodie? What if he was
Yeah.
cold? What if he wanted to
That's
just
a big
cover his
style.
head?
No,
Like,
because in
do you
his
know what I
brain,
mean?
yeah, in his brain, yeah, he was listening to like, in his brain, yeah, he was listening to some like Gets tune from 2007, and he was like, yeah, thinking about like shooting straps or something. But really, he wasn't actually about that
That
life.
was going to be my next subject. The effects of music to stereotyping.
Oh.
Yeah, I did that.
In
I
music,
mean,
stereotyping and
Oh my god, he liked the
At the
energy.
time,
So obviously,
ideology.
people, obviously, I was doing,
put names on it.
Government.
I was doing my security course, innit, yeah? And then, some lady was like, why you dressed up like that? Because I had
Sorry.
yeah.
Security for one.
Yeah.
You know what they like?
What did it?
Big black guys.
Yeah, man, definitely, yeah,
Am
yeah,
I like?
yeah,
Stereotype.
Stereotypes.
It's true,
They look scary.
it's true.
When you look in the shop, that's what you see.
When I saw you,
Sorry,
I
Abs.
Carry on.
So obviously some lady saw me wearing the Adidas, some African lady, innit, yeah? She was like, why are you dressed up like that for? I was like, right. Yeah, but little does she know that Adidas is paying these drill guys to wear Adidas in their thing. You understand? So some people are wearing it for different. I'm not getting money for it, yeah, but I appreciate what man's wearing. And then,
You know, you appreciate what man. Yeah, you know, stereotyping.
It's funny because it's funny because even like you're saying you might fake it till you make it, yeah. Right. A way of faking it, yeah, is telling them that you got straight A's. You go for a job, you got straight A's. I put some specs on. I put a decent hat on. Yeah, I put exactly. I put a decent coat on, look good, and then I walk in there and I say yes. I've done this kind of job before. I haven't. I'm faking it because I want the job. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm gonna, like you said, I'm gonna paint a picture.
Yeah.
And put on the right stereotype for them. And then when I come back to the hood, man's like, did you go court today, blood? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So then I'm getting the stereotype back again.
But that's
you know what I'm trying to say?
what that is. That's the fact. But you're adapting to the situation. You're going to job interviews. You're adapting,
But you
and
have
it's a
to adapt to the
survival instinct because you want to get the job to survive, to have money to have bread to eat.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
but did you hear that though?
Levels.
And then
But then it
There's
flips.
levels.
It flips. Yeah,
and then his brethren,
That's right.
in the
That's
hood looked at him, and this could be the first time they've
got
ever
to
seen
call
him in a
him in a
blazer,
suit.
yeah, or something like that.
You know what I
And
mean?
he's actually like, I'm trying to be a really good person. You know what I mean? I'm actually trying my best to be the best I can be.
Yeah.
And you're asking me if I went to court.
Yeah,
Can I use an example? I remember like a good 8-9 years ago, I had a friend, a white friend, and she was going for a job interview. And the way she looked when she was going for the job interview, her hair was dyed up, she had it in some spiky thing, and she had some net something on, and she looked nice, she looked good, she looked vintage. I'm saying, look at that. We would never go to a job interview like that. And she got the job.
Yeah.
And that is when I said,
Who's
I'm
we
not
though?
putting down my image.
We though?
How do you know? But can I say something? I'm talking about you got authentic people like me.
Yeah.
At one time, I was gonna, no, I don't mean it like that. I was gonna say, listen, no. Years ago, I was gonna change my image. A good 12 years ago, I thought, nah, boom. It was her when I saw her go, and I thought, But they're taking our image. We're trying to be something that we're not. We're putting on a suit and tie, and we're leaving back our little style and our image. And then, but she can go to a job interview like that. But we must wear suit and tie. And that's when I said, I'm not going to change up my style again.
But you know what's mad, yeah?
That is, she is what made me say, I'm not going to change my image.
No, but look, how do you know?
Yeah, no, but why is it we need to look neat, but she could go like that?
No,
And she
because
got
you know
the
what is
job.
it? Pepper, listen.
Because
imagine
the same thing we're talking about right now.
Yeah, so imagine the
Stereotype. And that is why I said, I'm not going to stop dyeing my hair or having different colours or doing something different and trying to be speaky spokey and matched all together when people taking our image.
Pepe.
Did you not ever hear the story? Did you not ever hear the story of that kid that was in school and he had dreadlocks and they told him he's got to get out of school?
Right. Many times.
Right. So why did that happen? Why couldn't he have dreadlocks in his school?
Because it didn't fit with their image and what they were trying to portray, innit?
Right. But yet still, he's just trying to study.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He's just trying to do. He's a good kid, isn't he? He's just trying to study.
There's always black people.
Could
that
they
are
think
trying
it's
to-
strength
to
enough?
change what they look.
They've
some
done it in
people get their
wrestling.
job, like by just being natural. Yeah, like sell yourself in a certain way, or what? Sell yourself though, innit? You understand? But look, listen, you don't know whether she needed to dress that way to get.
But
the job.
I don't mind. All I knew
Yeah.
is it taught me something.
You don't know whether she
like,
was
why
getting-
am I
going
going to
a pub-
put down my
pub-
image?
pub, interview. She could have been going to a pub
Exactly.
interview.
But if I was
Would
going
you
for a
judge the
pub
job, though?
interview,
No,
no,
you
I didn't
judge
care
the
where
job.
she was going. But I'm saying, if I was even going for a tattoo, a hairdresser, a this and that, I wouldn't dress like that because of, I believe that I would be stereotyped. But why was it okay
So
for
that
her?
means you stereotype that you're gonna be stereotyped.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Stereotype yourself.
No. Yes. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did stereotype myself. But I'm using the stereotype that people give on us because I'm telling you, if I walked in the door as a black woman, even though I know I feel I've got the right and I can do what I want and this is me, but I'm telling you, if I walk through the door like that, they would have said, "Rah, she's got a knife." I don't know.
Do you know what?
Look at
You're
the-
proving that we stereotype ourselves.
Definitely.
Yeah, 'cause before you said you reverse it, so why didn't you reverse
But
it?
I'm talking about, that was 12 years ago. You don't understand.
So you just
No, but 12 years ago, it was things that made me look. That's why I'm like this
That's
today.
why you reverse it.
Yellow hair and a pink hat and a pink jacket. Because what I saw, and I thought, well, if they're okay to be like that, then so am I. Do you understand? And that's why I look like this today. Even though tomorrow I'd look completely different.
Just stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane.
My name's
They don't
you
matter.
yourself.
But you say that. But you say that.
The point of that us,
I'm in my lane. I can't get no knockbacks. I'm just standing.
Yeah.
That's the subject itself, innit? You know, like when you're like, there's some people, some of us, and you know, all of us, maybe victim. We're probably all victim of stereotyping ourselves. To a certain degree.
But that's what I was saying at the beginning. I said, well, we end
And
up,
it's true, and
we
that's
end up
what can
dealing with
hold us
ourselves.
back, innit?
The stereotype holds us back. You know, we
Don't hold.
us back.
It
No, we
can.
hold
It can.
ourselves
It
back.
can. It can.
Definitely.
Because we
It
hold
can.
ourselves back because of it. Because you're so used to people stereotyping you. You stereotype.
Exactly.
but-
Alright, let's talk about the stereotypes.
The first
The origin of the can I
Alright.
quickly have a go as well?
Yeah, go on.
But the
Oh, hey, listen. Sorry, bro. Sorry.
Go.
But I think you have to remember though, yeah, that you didn't create the stereotype was created for you.
Then that's why I say it's only a word. And it's just a word. When Q's
Hello, guys.
Don't give a fuck about what people think about you, and don't look at other people. Stay in your lane. Listen, like I always knew that my parents used to tell me, as you grow, you will know. Don't watch the other person. Do you understand? Everyone's got their time to shine, innit? Do you understand? So that's about it.
I mean, be yourself, follow your intuitions, and trust the vibes, and follow your instincts, and be wise, and that's about it, really. I think as well, based on my experience in life.
Same old. Just what they said.
It's not good enough.
Said we are all kings and queens. And we all got our own individual personality and character. And I just believe stereotype is just a name, and we are just who we are, and we can be whatever we want through image and that's what a stereotype is. It's an image, it's fabric, it's man-made products. Because if you came out naked, they wouldn't stereotype you. So it's just image that does it. So you can change your image all different times and confuse the issue.
If you don't prejudge, what somebody else is thinking, and then and then judge yourself to basically fit their what they see you as, and what you believe that they want to see you as. Don't judge yourself. Bloody hell.
Boy, I don't know. I said it at the beginning. It's just that simple. Like, just try not to stereotype yourself, and just do what you gotta do, man. Try to remain humble, cut through in life, and just, do your thing.